Thank you so much for your cooperation today. Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Thai. I'm from Vietnam and I'm 20 years old. I have been in Japan for almost 10 months.
So I heard you were working at Guidable right now as an intern. What are you doing there right now?
I'm writing articles for foreigners in Japan. It is posted on the website of Guidable.
So do you have any friends that is already working in Japan?
The Vietnamese community here is big. I think if I ask, there will be people that are willing to help me to look for a job.
Do you struggle living in here or the community help you all the time?
I don't struggle living, but like sometimes when I want to go to a restaurant on my own, it's a bit hard because I don't have that much Japanese, especially as the place far away from Tokyo. The further away, the more
They
Japanese.
don't speak English.
Yeah.
True. Are you struggling to communicate with Japanese coworkers or boss?
Here in Guidable, I have never have to speak in Japanese because a lot of people speak English here. But in my Baitals,
you did
a few
Baito?
months ago, I made a lot of problem with communicating with Japanese. I was working in a 7-Eleven warehouse. I do have to speak to Japanese there.
Was it difficult for you? Like
Yes.
using Keigo like that?
Yes, it's really difficult for me. But the Vietnamese worker who worked there, so he showed me everything, and I just need to do it.
That's so nice. You have like friends and people support you.
There are a lot of
overseas.
communities, yes. So I just text them.
Are you satisfied living in Japan?
The weather is the one I like the most.
It's cold right now.
Yeah, it's cool, it's cold, it's fine. I think for me, the only weather that I don't like is like in the middle of the summer because it's super hot.
Do you have any suggestions or suggestions to those who is watching right now?
I have tried about 3 jobs, so I don't have a lot of experience, but my best suggestion is that just try it. If they don't receive you, it's okay. And if they receive you, they will train you as much as possible. So don't worry to apply for a job.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for your cooperation today. どこから来ましたか？
モンゴルから来ました。
日本に来てどれぐらいでしたっけ？
もうすぐ1年です。
今はどこでアルバイトしてるんでしたっけ？
ゆでたら、
お蕎麦屋さんですかね。
はい。
蕎麦屋さんは今何ヶ月お仕事してます？
3ヶ月くらいかな。
もうお仕事慣れました？
はい。
何してるんですか？キッチンですか？
はい。
そのお仕事はどうですか？
本当に楽しいです。
お、楽しいですか？何楽しいですか？
一緒に働いている日本人の皆さんがなんか優しくて本当に楽しいですから働いたいなと思っています。
その今のトゥグルトルさんが働いてるお店はみんな年上の人ですか？
はい。みんなおじさんです。
みんなおじさん？
はい。
同じ年の人いないですか？若い人。
いないです。
そのおじさんとかおばさんはトゥグルトルさんもなんか子供みたいに
はい
可愛がってくれますか？
は
ゆで太郎の前もお仕事してたんですか？
大和とか行ったことがあります。
荷物を
モンゴルで
はい
働かれてたこともありますか？
はい、ホールやったことがあります。
何のレストランですか？
ヨーロッパの料理を作る。
そこは結構長く働いてたんですか？
5ヶ月ぐらい働きました。
モンゴルと日本のそのレストランの仕事の違いってどんな感じですか？
モンゴルで働いたらなんか自分で考えて何かとします。日本で自分で考えないで上の人から聞かなければなりませんからちょっと違うだった。
モンゴルで働いてた時はそのリーダーとかいませんでした？
言いますけど、なんか自分で、考えてこの問題をしたらこの人いい人と思います。モンゴル人が。
じゃあリーダーの人はオンパーパスで何も言わないんですね。
はい。
厳しいですね。
そうです。
お給料とかどうですか？モンゴルと日本は。
日本の方が多いと思います。
モンゴルの方が物価とか安いですか？
はい。
日本も今一緒に働いてる人たちは結構トゥグルトゥルさんに優しく教えてくれたり、
はい、
さっき自分からいろいろやるんじゃなくて上の人から言われたことしかできないって言ってたじゃないですか。日本は、自分でやろうとしたら逆に怒られたこととかあります？
あんまりないんですけど、あります。 なんか大和で
はい
これをやってと言いましたら、これをやらなければなりませんから、他の仕事をしたら君それやってくださいって言われたことがあります。
なるほど。トゥグルトルさんいいかなと思ってやってあげたのにそれがダメって言われちゃったんですね。今は一緒に働いてる人とのコミュニケーションはもう全部日本語ですか？
はい。
なんかこう分からないこととかないですか？
わからない時はちょっとあんまりないんですが、わからなかったらちょっとわかりませんと言いましたら、説明してあげます。
みんな優しくこう説明してくれるんですね。
はい。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much for your cooperation today. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Julie. I'm from the United States, from Washington, D.C.
How long have you been here?
In March, it will be 6 years.
6
that
years
I've been in
already?
Japan. Yeah.
Could you tell me about what are you doing now after you graduated university?
Currently, I'm working in a bar in Shibuya.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Do you get to speak Japanese there or English?
Both. We have all sorts of customers come in. The staff is mostly Japanese.
Okay.
So yeah, we use like both languages every day.
You worked in Japan in addition to that bar job or?
Yeah, so currently I'm at the bar, but before I was working at an like Este salon. When I was in college, I worked at like Eikaiwa no Juku.
Does that require you to have a high level Japanese or you can do without Japanese?
I mean, it depends. Like at the Juku, it's like for English specifically. So they kind of prefer that you don't speak Japanese. But I definitely like spoke Japanese better than some of my coworkers. And I think that definitely made it easier to work with some of the Japanese staff. So like not necessary, but helpful.
Do you think that Keigo is very struggle to do those conversation within coworkers and their bosses?
For me, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. And I do think because there's levels to politeness in Japanese, it can be hard sometimes. Like maybe you think what you said was polite, but that doesn't come across that way to them.
You also worked in the States as well, right?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me what's the main differences? Obviously it's so different as a culture,
totally.
People, the working hours and etc. But
Yeah.
Could you tell me about it?
Like you mentioned before, Keigo is definitely a big difference. I think.
Sure.
There's, I mean, obviously a way to speak politely in English, but it's not the same as Keigo. Communicating is a little easier because of that, just because you can be a little bit more direct about like, what you want to talk about. Also, I think Americans really value like the work environment. I mean, not that they want to cause problems in Japan, but I think because they want everybody to get along and they want everybody to like interact well with each other in America, that also makes it a lot easier to communicate.
Yeah. Your bar, I feel like it's more easier.
Yeah, it's definitely not like typical Japanese work experience. Yeah, and I don't think I really had that in Japan. Like at either the other places I worked too, it was also like not like Japanese company kind of thing. So I haven't experienced that so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your cooperation today. Can you introduce yourself first?
Hi, my name is Adi. I am 20 years old. I'm currently a student in Japan. So I'm a third year university student and I've been here for about 2 years at this point. And I'm an intern at Guidable.
Have you ever worked in any places or companies in Japan?
I've done a part-time job at a convenience store.
Obviously, you get to speak Japanese there, but was it difficult for you or did you learn something new?
Yeah, I mean, before when I started working, I was really afraid to talk to Japanese people because all of the Japanese interactions that I had were primarily with my teachers. And when they make you do example exercises in class. So this was the first time I had to learn everything in Japanese, all instructions, if you do something wrong, everything was in Japanese. So it was really scary, but I think when I have an issue, when I need help, or when I see someone at the desk or something, I'm not afraid to talk to them. Even if I don't have the vocabulary, I still manage to make a sentence and make some sense so they know what I'm talking about at least. Definitely my confidence has increased.
Do the convenience store has any foreigners there?
A lot of foreigners. I think most of the people there were like from Nepal. And I'm from India, and I think one person from Myanmar, and then one from Bhutan. Lots of Southeast Asia.
You wish to work with Japanese people as well?
There were some Japanese
Okay.
people. At that store, the Japanese people were kinder than the foreigners. Yeah, it just
Okay.
depends.
Were you satisfied with your salary back then in convenience store? Yeah. Don't you think it's like longer or shorter working hour compared to India?
I think compared to India, the pay is definitely good.
The hour?
Yeah.
Working hour is
Uh-huh.
good? Okay.
So because you get like 1,010 yen per hour, I think.
Yeah.
And in India, you get a lot more less. Like, I've never had a job like that
Yeah.
in India. I can't tell you like the per hour rate, but I'm pretty sure it's like much lower.
Wasn't it difficult to use Keigo there, or like bosses and workers relationship? How was that?
No one really used Keigo there.
Really?
Really. Like, I think there were only like 1 or 2 people who would use it. Even they would like later just like talk normally. So,
To your boss as well?
kind of, yeah. So
Hey.
that was not a problem, luckily.
Wow. Do you have any messages to those who is watching for foreigners looking for jobs in Tokyo or Japan?
Brush up on your Japanese skills because it will really help you, and don't worry if you make mistakes. Like, people will be mean to you, but you'll eventually like learn a lot, and you'll get better, and you'll become more confident in just like existing here as a foreigner. I wish you all the best on your job hunting journey.
And thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you so much.